Episode 2 of my video game FLAPPATRON available right now on Steam. Here's my Death Stranding thoughts. I recently beat the game, and if I'm completely honest, right off the bat, I loved it. It's probably my favorite game that I've played this year. Now, this game is very polarizing to a lot of people. It's really hard to kind of, talk about properly, and it's really hard to go off of reviews. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because people who watch my channel and stuff, they know me as a person and kind of what I'm into in terms of games, all that kind of shit. I figure maybe if you kind of know what I like and what I don't, my opinion might be of some worth to you, and you can figure out if you are interested or not in purchasing the game or giving it a go. Now, I am kind of a Kojima fan. I do like Metal Gear Solid. I love, I think the second one's my favorite game. I mean, but I will admit though, I did fall off a little bit with Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. I didn't like that one. Didn't really like Metal Gear Solid 5 either, because there just wasn't much story in those, in my opinion. Just kind of was a bit meh. I like Kojima because I like the story aspect, like the cutscenes. Like, that's what I like about his games. And even Metal Gear Solid 4 was a very uneven game. The first 2 acts on that were great. Then the third one's just like a stealth mission or something. It was just a really weird game, that one. So Kojima's stuff's always been a bit kind of all over the place and a bit out there, honestly. And the thing I respect about him is, oh, my dog's here. The thing I respect about him is the fact that he tries something new and different. Do you want to come up here? Oh, look at his little belly. So in a way, if you kind of, if you know Kojima's stuff, you kind of know what you're getting into. It's going to be weird. The story is obviously going to be out there because his brain's on another level with that kind of stuff. I think the biggest thing this game has, I'll get off my chest right away, I think the problem was it was marketed as a different game, and that's the problem. If you watch the trailer, and I'll probably be using footage for the trailer throughout this, it shows like a weird action-packed kind of game. Even the parts when he's traversing over the mountains and that, it's not shown super prominently. And even when it is, you see him running along the whale, you show him, running away from people shooting at him like the mules or whatever, which, to be honest, it's funny because those big whale things, etc., I barely fought them ever because I was always sneaky and managed to go through past the BTs. When the BTs find you, they pull you, then you fight the big whale thing. And it's kind of weird. I thought they kind of went backwards with that, really. I wanted to fight these bosses. When I realized this, and that when they pull you and you get to fight stuff and whatever, I would purposefully run into the BTs so they would pull me down and put me in a boss fight. That's what I'm trying to say. People want that. We want to fight some crazy big boss, and it's because when you do, it's really intense. So it just depends on how you play, I suppose, and your style. But I didn't know that they pull you in. You have to fight the big ass BT whale things. I also think it's weird as well because in that trailer, and again, this is kind of spoilery, I suppose. That trailer shows so many things in the story that are super important. And half of that trailer as well is that stuff happens at the end. It is one of those games where I will admit it is one of those games. It's like Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 has that the good start. It's here's the characters, here's what's going on, blah 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 blah. Then the rest of it's just kind of filler. Then at the end, everything just happens and there's boss fights and whatever. And I feel like Death Stranding kind of does that. So it depends on how much you like the filler. Really, Kingdom Hearts, I was not a big fan of the filler because I don't care about Disney that much, if I'm completely honest. And that game, I just wanted to really get into the nitty-gritty story. At least with Death Stranding, there is a lot of character development. Each chapter focuses on a character, and you do learn more about them. And that's what, for me, I think what made me more interested and want to keep playing. Because any information I could get about the world and the characters, I would just lap it up. It's a log would come up. A lot of the time I would press start and I'd read the log. So in half an hour just reading through all these logs just one time and listen to the audio interviews and all that kind of stuff. That's how much I cared about the world and I gave a shit. So it really depends on how much you care about the story and if you enjoy the gameplay. And I know if someone said to me right now, would you recommend this game to a friend? It's really difficult to... It's really hard to recommend, but it's also really hard not to. For example, Angus, if you know Angus on my videos, Angus is very he'll just dismiss everything and anything and say something shit from the get-go. He didn't like Death Stranding at all. He was like, this is just boring, what the fuck is the point of this, going off on it. Whereas Chris is more willing to give things a go, but ultimately, I know for a fact he wouldn't really play it. But I'd recommend this to my sister, for example. My sister really likes weird stuff, and you know, she likes games which are more than games, I guess. I can't really explain it. My twin brother, I wouldn't recommend it to at all. He plays COD and likes FIFA. Like, he likes the action and stuff. Let's just jump in. Someone like me, who I think I've played a lot of games. Like, I've played so many games. It's kind of my mission to play as many games as possible in a way. And so for me, Death Stranding was a breath of fresh air. And while at first it was a bit strange, I was like, what the fuck? Am I literally just walking from here to here? This is the game. Once I kind of acknowledged that and accepted that this is the core gameplay, this is what the game's about, this is the themes, I was more on board with it, and I kind of embraced it for what it was. You know, like even after each mission though, it felt good because every mission you would gain an ability, you would gain, you know, something you could make. You could make a new weapon, you could make a new, like, the PCC would upgrade. Every mission I found it was really rewarding. And it's a shame because there's a lot of people who, it seems they kind of get to like 9 hours, 10 hours around that, and they just stop. 2 people I watched who reviewed it said that. It was Pogo. You know who Pogo is? I watch his reviews. He said he played it 8 hours and he had to give up. He basically got to the second area after the boat and they had to give up. And Kadikarus, who is an acquaintance, but he's someone who I actually really love. I love his content. So I was kind of a bit like, oh man, it's a shame you didn't like it, because I mean, it's not for everybody, but it seems like in a lot of reviews that I've seen, I mean, that's just 2 examples, the ones that I remember the most, it seems people gave up around that time. And you know what? It's completely fair. If you aren't having fun by the time you hit that mark and you're not interested, fair enough. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of ironic because I find when you get to that second area, the game gets way more fun, because when you do a few missions and that, you unlock some more things, then you can make a bike whatever you want. And the bike, I would always have a bike on me at all times. There was rarely a mission where I didn't have a bike. And then you get the container carrier thing, which you latch onto and it follows you around. You just start getting all this stuff that makes it way easier and all this, and like blah, 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 blah. So I lost my train of thought then. This makes it way easier, way more fun. You actually feel like you've got a chance in a way. And I feel like that's where Kojima went a bit wrong with this game. I feel like he should have introduced that stuff way sooner. Do you know what I mean? Like, the pacing is just completely wrong if he wants everybody to give it a go. You can't really have a game which is 8 hours, 9 hours to get into like the good stuff. It's like when people say Final Fantasy 13, oh, when you get to like 10 hours on that game, oh, it gets good. That's a lot of people say that about Final Fantasy 13. I disagree. I think Final Fantasy 13 for some reason gets way too much hate. That's a whole nother topic. I just feel that, yeah, I mean, it's not going to appeal to everyone. You, at that mark, you're either in it for the long haul or you're done. And, you know, again, like I said, I have to admit, it is kind of like lots of story, but it is kind of fillery, but there is a lot of story stuff kind of throughout the big gameplay loop. And at the end, loads of stuff happens. The last like 3 hours were amazing. I love the last few hours. Shit gets crazy and there's massive bosses. There's bosses all over the place. There's one that took me like 20 minutes to beat. I like the ending. And what I love about this game more than I think Kojima's earlier stuff, and what makes me a bit more like, oh, about it, I actually understood the story. Like, if someone said to me right now, I could tell you what happened, and I got it. There are a few plot twists toward the end where it's like, you know, I guess, is it meant to surprise you or wow you? I don't know, because in my opinion, it was pretty fucking obvious early on. There's one plot twist, like, you kind of find out near the end, and it's like, I mean, it just kind of seemed like it was going that direction anyway. So I don't know if I'm just, I don't know, I've got a knack for that stuff, but I thought it wasn't even a plot twist. I was like, oh yeah, I figured, to be honest, like it was pretty obvious, but I guess they're trying to confirm it. I don't know. I just personally, I loved it. I loved the story. I loved the acting, the performances. Some of the writing's a bit terrible. I even laughed out loud on like 2 parts. There's a part where Fragile, there's a part where the guy goes like, "You damaged goods," and she literally replies, she hits him and goes, "Poof," she goes, "You're damaged goods." Like, what? Now, I kind of get what they were going for, because she's punched him, so now he actually is damaged goods. But the way the line's written and the way she says it doesn't really come across that way. It's kind of just like, you're stupid. No, you're stupid. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really work. That line, and ironically, the worst line in the whole game is after that part. And I laughed out loud. I went, are you serious? Like, that was actual dialogue? There's a part where Norman Reedus goes, well, Sam goes, you know, oh, so I'm Mario and you're Peach. That's fine. I get it. You want that reference in there. I mean, that's not too bad of a line. But there's a part where she literally goes, you can be Mario and I'll be Princess Beach, because she's on a beach. It's so weird. I mean, like, what a line. But what's weird about Kojima anyway is that, like, you gotta remember, like, I mean, fucking hell, the main boss on Metal Gear Solid is called Big Boss. I'm guessing because on the original game, like, it was called Boss, like the big boss of the game, Big Boss. But because he's stuck with that shit, and the character's called Big Boss, Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, like, again, the characters on this, Dead Man, fucking, what is it, Heart Man. Like, I don't really mind that as much because their stories make sense a little bit more, but I don't know, if you don't, it's a weird one because you want to take it super seriously and it is super dramatic seriously, but then at the same time, it's like, you got Heartman giving you likes and going, and got like emotions and stuff. It's a very odd game, but I also embrace that. Like I said, I like things that are super serious but can also change tone quite a bit. I think it's good. Anyway, I keep bringing up the story and stuff, but yeah, the gameplay, I did enjoy it. I found myself just chilling out, just relaxing. I wasn't having to run around trying to get kill streaks and, you know, get headshots all the time. I just found myself relaxing, and I actually found it really satisfying. I found it hard. Like, what I see, again, a lot of these reviews, they're like falling over all the time, Sam is. And I'm like, how are they falling over all the time? It's not hard. Like, how they keep like falling off the cliff and doing this weird shit? It's because they're purposefully almost like trying to break the game, it seems. Like, if you are Sam, all you gotta do is hold left trigger and right trigger, and he holds onto his stuff. So when you're falling down a hill, he'll just hold onto it the whole time. That basically is, you're invincible. Like, you're not gonna fall over. Whereas the footage I see from that kind of stuff, they kind of press the button when it prompts you, like, oh, press it. So of course you're gonna keep wobbling and falling over. It's weird. I don't know what, there's something people couldn't grasp that for some reason. Maybe that gave him a harder time. I don't know, man. I just found the longer I played this game, the more I actually really liked it. And I actually might go back and play, after I beat the game now, I might go back and actually just try and beat the side missions and stuff, because I found it relaxing, I found it interesting, and I found it pretty intense at some points. It kind of has like a huge range of emotions on this game. And I think I like about the gameplay is that it complements the story and it complements the character, because it just makes you feel so isolated and alone. And I really like that, and you see the struggle of that Sam has to go through. You're the one going through that struggle. Like, they can't see what you're going through, but you're there with Sam through this journey, doing this, you know, going over the mountains and whatever, doing this crazy shit. I don't know. I personally love it. I thought it was really fun. And that's the thing, everyone's like, it isn't fun, and I disagree. It is fun. It's fun in a different way. It's fun where, like, making pottery is fun for some people, you know? Like, it's relaxing, it's therapeutic. Like, Minecraft is fun for some people, just digging stuff and whatever. It's kind of that level of fun, you know? And it's rewarding because of the trials and tribulations you go through. I just think, personally, the reason why it probably got shat on a lot more is because it just was marketed like it was this crazy action adventure game, and even leading up to E3 it was like that, and Kojima didn't exactly give us a lot of clues for what the gameplay was going to be like, did he? He just kind of was like, oh, it's a new this and new that, and I don't like his comments about saying that, you know, oh, people in America don't like it because this and this, and I think that's a really ignorant thing to say. I think to a certain degree he's got a point, but I think it's ignorant as a whole. I mean, just because, like, a demographic doesn't like your game doesn't mean everybody doesn't like it. Sure, Japanese people are more catered to slower games and RPGs and stuff, and that's just a fact, but you can't just dismiss that audience entirely. I don't know, I just feel like it's his way of being like, Well, actually, it is amazing. Everyone loves it in Japan, but these guys just don't. I don't like that. I don't know, man. Like, would I recommend it? To be honest, if you're on the fence about it, wait until it's on sale, or like half price, or a year from now, and then just give it a go. If you're somebody who's looking for something new and refreshing, and you love story, and you just kind of want to get immersed in the world. If you are someone like me who really just loves storytelling, and that's like the main reason you play games, then yeah, for sure, I think you should get it, and I think you'd probably like it. And if you don't, well, I'm sorry, I messed up there, but personally, I loved it. And I'm not even in that group of, oh, gaming is an art form, and oh, this game is, oh. I'm in the camp of, the game's fun, and I like the gameplay. For me, I find it fun and satisfying. I like it, and I love all the story and everything as well. So for me, I just love all of it. I don't think Death Stranding is more of an art form than, fucking The Last of Us, or Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I don't think so at all. I don't think Kojima's made some brand new, crazy new genre to the point where it is an art. It's a game, and it's a very well made game. It's still a game at the end of the day. So that's my opinion on that matter. Yeah, hope you enjoy the game. If you do buy it, hopefully you enjoyed my opinions. If you want any more opinions on this game, I guess leave a comment. Maybe I'll reply and give you some more insight to it. But hope you enjoyed this video. I like just rambling and talking shit, so this was fun for me. And it's still so cold.